We got ourselves here when a lot of people thought that we couldn't. It just shows how much heart we have and how competitive we are, really.
Our energy, our chemistry, you know, it's unlike anything I've ever experienced. We have each other's backs.
Win or lose, just know that this team's worked extremely hard, really tough.
This team has really showed that we can fight, and we just really trusted ourselves and trusted in our offense, trusted in our pitchers. I'm just going to go out there and compete like everyone in the nation knows that I can compete.
Now we're so close that we're just going to close it out and win it again.
We were the underdog in 05, even though we were ranked #1. I love being the underdog, but our goal is to just play it one pitch at a time.
You can't sit on your hands. You just got to take some chances, take some risks, and go out there and play hard.
It's crazy, and I think it'll be even crazier tonight. It's just finally becoming real. Like, we're in the national championship. We're going to go out there and realize it's just another game of softball.
From Hall of Fame Stadium in Oklahoma City, welcome to the NCAA Women's College World Series Championship Finals. Tonight it's winner take all in Game 3 with Michigan, the top home run hitting lineup in the country, and Florida, ranked #1 for most of the year and driven by the National Player of the Year. Already in our series, well, the defending champion Gators, they took Game 1 on Monday, 3-2. Lauren Hager with a home run. She drove in all 3 runs. And then last night, Michigan, the 1-0 winner. They scored in the first inning and made it stick. Haley Wagner was fantastic in the circle. And welcome to Hall of Fame Stadium, Beth Mowins, along with our Olympic gold medalists, Michelle Smith, Jessica Mendoza, Holly Rowe, and Kurt Schilling, also with us for this Game 3. Well, guys, in a season defined by record-breaking offenses here in the championship series, it's come down to some dominant pitching. And Michelle, Lauren Hager in the postseason, just 5 runs allowed in 58 innings of work.
Yeah, this has just been a great series. Lauren Hager for Florida has just been outstanding. She's been rechanneled this entire year, really working hard in the circle, and it has paid off. Why? That changeup. She can throw a variation of speeds. She throws up in the zone, curveball, screwball combination, locates it very well, and she just has been an outstanding leader on the field for the Gators. Her numbers, they speak for themselves. 15 strikeouts. Last night she gave up just 4 hits on 68 pitches. But the key component, not only is she hitting well and pitching well, she has never lost back-to-back starts in her entire career.
That's going to be big. And, of course, both pitchers were efficient last night in a game that only lasted an hour and a half. And when we talk about Michigan senior Haley Wagner, she is saving her best for last. The Southpaw Jess has not been scored upon yet in the World Series.
Beth, she is pitching right now with a passion. She was here 2 years ago and she was injured. She couldn't play. Since then, she has been driven to get back to the stage. You look in her eyes and you just see that. And what she's able to do now with her mechanics and pitches is her curveball has been dominant. She's been able to throw this pitch, jamming the righties, coming inside, away to lefties. I mean, she's really thrown it so well, both sides of the plate, but that is what she has done well. A pitcher driven by her passion, but also utilizing a pitch that has gotten her no earned runs throughout this entire postseason.
And the 12 hits allowed, all singles. As we take a look at the Capital One starting lineup for the visitors tonight, the Michigan Wolverines. Sierra Lawrence, who scored the only run last night, followed by Sierra Romero.
Romero, so many tools. She needs to get back on track. She is the best player, in many opinion, in the entire country. See what she can do this evening.
She is followed up by another good home run hitter in Kelly Christner, and then Kelsey Susala, who had the game-winning RBI last night. Lauren Sweet in the 5 spot, and then it's Lindsay Montemorano, the 3rd baseman. The bottom 3, Wagner will hit as well as pitch, followed by Blanco and Abby Ramirez. And let's bring in 3-time world champ Kurt Schilling. Kurt, what are you looking for tonight in a decisive Game 3?
Well, first off, I'm looking for an unforgettable game, which I think we're going to get. And I think it's going to follow suit from the first 2 nights. I think the team that plays a run first tonight goes home world champions.
That was the case in the first 2 games of this series, both 1-run games. And for the 4th time in the 11-year history of this championship series, we have a Game 3. And it all started back in 2005 with Michigan. After losing the opener, they came back to beat UCLA twice. Can they do it against Lauren Hager, who lost for just the second time all season last night. She started the deciding game last year in the championship series for Florida, and she will do it again this year.
She's just got that senior mentality. She's rocking right now. She's thrown the velocity on both sides with her curve and her screw, but the decisive pitch for her, Michelle, you mentioned it earlier, is her off-speed. That is what will win her a championship.
It was a couple of defensive miscues by the Gators in that first inning that led to the run. They'll look to shore it up tonight. DeWitt, Merritt, and McLean in the outfield. And then around the infield, Fuller, Medina, Stewart, and Taylor Schwartz, the right-hander at first base, with Aubrey Monroe behind the dish. They want to try and get as many righties as they can to face the lefty Wagner. Last game of the season, and we are underway. Hager starts out with an off-speed pitch, 1-0 to Lawrence. That one's across the outside part of the plate for a strike. Lawrence in game 2, 2 for 3, doubled and scored a run in the first inning. And that was all that Michigan would need. Swings at the inside pitch, fouls it off, 1-2. Lauren Hager, the senior out of Peoria, Arizona. Not only can sling it, but she's their career leader in home runs and runs batted in. Here's the 1-2. Medina's got it at short. One down. And now the matchup of All-Americans going head-to-head here with Sierra Romero set to step in. 451 on the season with 22 home runs, but so far in the World Series, just 3 for 14. One of those did leave the park.
Yesterday, Hager came after her with a rise ball, really tried to establish that inside part of the plate. Romero backing off the plate a little bit more. I think she's going to be looking for that part of the plate.
That one comes across inside, 2-0. The school rankings for Romero, she's still got another year to go, folks. Those 10 grand slams setting not only a Michigan record, but an NCAA career mark. Gets one out over the plate. Fuller stays down on it, over to first. 2 down.
And that's the off speed we talked about early. The reason is Romero's looking inside, and all of a sudden you come back with something middle. Your eyes get big as a hitter, especially first at bat. She's out in front. She rolls over it.
This is Kelly Christner, the left fielder. Sophomore out of Tinley Park, Illinois. First team All-American. And the 1-0 from Hager. 1-1.
Hager definitely working that inside corner. Her first 3 hitters establishing that part of the zone.
One pulls that foul one out of play. Swinging the bat with a ton of confidence as the record-breaking crowds continue to flock to Oklahoma City. Called strike 3. Up in the zone, and Hager got her. 3 up and 3 down to start the national championship game for Lauren Hager. And the Florida Gators, they pick up the bats when we come back.
It's great to be a Florida Gator. It's great to be a Florida Gator. It's great to be a Florida Gator.
The NCAA Women's College World Series is presented by the Capital One Venture Card. Earn unlimited double miles you can use on any airline, anytime. And in part by the local experts at your independent True Value.
To the bottom of the first for the Florida Gators. And our Capital One starting lineups. And right at the top, Kelsey Stewart.
Well, she is the best hitter in Florida history with batting average, but she's been 1 for 6 this series. This is a bat they need to get hot.
She'll be followed up by Nicole DeWitt, the left fielder, and then the pitcher Lauren Hager will move back into the 3 spot after hitting 4th yesterday. Taylor Fuller now providing the protection right behind her along with Kirsty Merritt. Then down to the 6th spot, Taylor Schwartz. Janelle Wheaton will get the start today as the DP. McLean and Wright and Monroe, the catcher. And they will face Haley Wagner, who hasn't lost since March 14th. She's won 12 of her last 13 starts and has thrown 10 innings already against Florida, hadn't given up a run.
Haley Wagner has come in and just been clutch in this postseason. She locates her curve to all parts of the zone. She will leak it up and down throughout. She must mix and locate, but really the key is for her to see the adjustments that Florida, you know, they will be making. She did a great job yesterday, 81 pitches only. See what she does.
The defense from Michigan, same lineup that we've seen throughout the World Series with Kushner, Lawrence, and Susala from left to right. Around the infield, Montemarano, Ramirez, Romero, and Blanco. Lauren Sweet, the catcher for Haley Wagner. The pitcher, by the way, will call her own game tonight for Michigan, as she has done throughout the second half of the season.
Hey, Jess, what are we going to be looking for Florida from the offense, taking away that slider, that cutter, that curveball that she used yesterday?
Watch Stewart right now. She's up on the plate, and watch her get almost out of the box as she moves. See how that left foot is really riding that line. You have to ride with the pitch for these lefties. Stewart's got an advantage because she can actually move instead of standing still. And I think the righties are going to back off the plate.
That's in for a strike. As we saw yesterday, Wagner works very fast, very up-tempo. And for the lefty slappers, those of you new to softball, you just can't have your entire foot outside the batter's box when you make contact. And that one comes inside and hits her.
Well, that's what she didn't do yesterday. She issued no free passes yesterday, and it really helped out her game.
Let's take another look at where that foot is and where the contact is made.
Ouch.
Got it right on the knee.
Kneecap. Now watch her steal first pitch.
He is okay and trotting down to first base. I'm going to try and work it out. And I think that was the going to try it one more time signal to her coaching staff.
The fastest player on this offense, so it's not just what she does with the bat, but they need her to move on the bases.
24 of 26 stolen base attempts. We talked yesterday after the game, can Florida try and run a little bit more if they get on base today, with Wagner really limiting their opportunities to score. Nicole DeWitt, she's 4 for 15 so far in the World Series. Excuse me, 4 for 18, does have a home run. One of her 2 on the season.
Thought about sacrificing the last pitch. See if she sticks with that.
Does drop it down. Montemarano going to go to second, and Stewart is in safe. They try to get the lead runner. 2 on with nobody out for the Gators.
Yeah, and that's where the defense needs to be talking. That's where Sweet, the catcher, needs to be reading the play and saying to Montemarano she needs to go to first, go to 1-1-1. Let's look at where Kelsey Stewart is. Look at where the defense is set up. The ball goes down. Montemurano has this, and this is just right there. You can see where Stewart is. She's too close to second. You got to go to first and get that out.
So now 2 on for Lauren Hager. She has been their big weapon at the plate throughout this World Series. Had a couple of hits off of Wagner yesterday. She's batting .538 with 3 home runs and 6 RBIs in the World Series. She's got all 3 of their runs driven in here in the Champ Series. 0-1 missed away.
She got 2 hits yesterday, but they were up in the zone. She got jammed. It was just her strength that got them through. I won't be surprised if they try to come back inside to get her out.
Hager back up the middle. Romero couldn't get to it. Stewart waving around and headed for home. And safe at third is Nicole DeWitt. And Lauren Hager drives in another one. 1-0 Gators. That is the first run scored off of Wagner here at the World Series.
And this pitch was supposed to be much further inside. That's where they've attacked her this entire series. You see it goes over the middle, so where does she hit it? Middle. Now look, Romero almost catches this. Stewart didn't even look. I mean, she took a huge risk coming off the bag to score, and if Romero was able to make a play, that would have been a double play.
The team that has scored first has won the first 2 games of the series. And it's Florida on top here in the bottom of the first, and still nobody out with 2 on. And when you look at these numbers, guys, would you have pitched to her at all in that situation? Even though it would have loaded up the bases if you walked her.
Well, I think that's why the bunt defense and the play was so critical. You take the out, you have the first base open. I walk her and then make this thing happen. The problem now is you need an out right now. You don't want this to turn into a crooked number.
Taylor Fuller. Junior out of Trenton, Florida. 4 for 13 at the World Series. Reaches out for one and fouls it off.
Yeah, it's interesting because Michigan had a couple of plays yesterday where they could have gotten the lead runner, did not go after the lead runner, got the out at first base. Today they chose not to, and it really has come back to hurt them.
It had been 20 innings of work for Wagner, scoreless until now. Two and two, just missed it outside.
No, I think, Michelle, in the last 2 days, we've seen, they didn't go up on the board as errors, but I think we've seen some errors, not making the aggressive play or not making the right play to get taken out and get an out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not getting the out at first is exactly as you said. They could have walked Hager.
2-2 to Fuller. Pops it up. Montemurano has it, and there's the one out they were looking for. Tim Walton winning the national championship a year ago, trying to join UCLA and Arizona as the only back-to-back national champions. He also won one as a baseball player at Oklahoma. They were the regular season champs in the SEC, the deepest conference in the country. They had 5 teams here at the World Series. They faced all SEC opponents here until Michigan in the finals. Kirsty Merritt in the 5 spot.
Well, Michelle, that pitch right there, that's the one, if I'm Haley Wagner, I'm sticking with that one today to the righties. Until they show me they can hit that pitch.
Yeah, that's the curveball inside, and she needs to locate it where she did that last pitch.
Drops it down. Fair ball. The tag applied, but it was missed, and then the throw down to get the second out. Hager to second with 2 down. You've got 2 in scoring position for Taylor Schwartz.
This is a good job by Blanco to go after her, recognize that there was a no call, and then still go to Romero at first. It was a good job to avoid the tag, but I'm curious why the bunt goes down.
Out to left, and that will drop. Base hit. One run is in. Hager coming to the plate. Slides in safe as Sweet could not handle the throw. And it's 3-0 Florida.
Well, and I guess that's why the bunt goes down, because they moved Lauren Hager into scoring position, jammed up here, but Merritt just muscles it into the outfield, and it's just going to dump in front of Christner. The throw comes home, but Lauren Sweet has an opportunity to make the play and does not go down, seeing Lauren Hager come in hard.
We saw a couple of balls last night, and I got to ask you, why would you have your left fielder playing that deep if you're going to pitch into righties? Just because anything over your head is going to be a home run for the most part in this park anyway, but you take away she makes a pitch and jams a hitter like that, and they get a positive result from it.
Big start for Florida. The 2-run single by Schwartz, and then scoots over to second after Hager had driven in the first run.
You can see Wheaton, this is her first at bat against Wagner this series. She did not hit in the 2 prior games, and she's off the plate. She's getting in, looking for that curveball in the inside part of the plate.
Wagner will take it herself. The backhand over to first. Side retired. But the Florida Gators doing some damage early here in Game 3 of the championship series. Lauren Hager gets it started, driving in a run back into the circle now with a big lead.
She is by far the best hitting pitcher that I've ever been around, one of the best I've ever seen at being able to step up.
3-0 Florida, and let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, I talked to some of the Florida Gators before the game on how they could relax at the plate. Outside of Lauren Hager, they have been struggling in this championship series. And the players say, well, it all started on the bus ride over. Normally, they all have on their private headphones. They're kind of in their own place. They decided to make it a team party. They put in the auxiliary cord into the bus. They put on the song House Party, and they had a singing, dancing party on the bus over here. They said it helped loosen them up because what they'd realized, everybody was trying to swing to be a hero at the World Series instead of doing what's gotten them him all year. A more relaxed approach at the plate has started a house party here in Oklahoma City.
Well, a great start for Florida, Holly. Lauren Hager got it going again. And Michigan in a familiar spot. They have trailed by 3 runs twice here at the World Series and have come back to win both times. 3 times and won 2 of those. Florida took the win in Game 1 of the Champ Series. Four, 5, and 6 here. Kelsey Susala did not go around.
I'm going to tell you, as a pitcher, from both perspectives right now, I'm down 3-0. I can't make another mistake the rest of the day. I'm up 3-0. I want to keep solo home runs not going to beat me. No walks. Keep the ball on the ground.
Susala to short. Medina gets a nice hop on it. 1 down. Well, the road to Omaha continues next week with baseball super regionals beginning on Friday, June 5th. For more information on the 2015 College World Series, go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships. Taylor Schwartz, the first baseman over there for Florida. Her brother JJ plays on the Gator baseball team, and he was named the Co-National Freshman of the Year earlier today. Quite a postseason already for their family. Taylor tries to pick up a national championship. Here's the other thing, too, about that first inning. Yesterday, Wagner did not give Florida one free pass, and it started out with Stewart getting hit by a pitch, getting up in the zone against that curveball.
Free passes always seem to find a way to come back across the plate.
Don't they?
Yeah.
Especially, we talked about yesterday, that leadoff hitter is so much more important here with just 21 outs to get than it is with another couple innings on.
Two and two.
But now, Jess, offensively for Michigan, you don't need to get all back at once. You need to get one here and there to get this back into the game.
Totally agree with you. The problem is hitters don't think that way.
No.
They think that they can get it back with one swing. You press.
Sweet fly ball out to Justine McLean. 2 down.
Well, the hard part is making the younger hitters understand you can't hit a 3-run homer with nobody on. Yeah. You work your productive outs now for me are going to be ones where you make her work. If she's going to get you out, make it take 7, 8, 9 pitches.
This is Lindsey Montemurano, the sophomore from Seaford, New York. 2 for 11 so far at the World Series. Carol Hutchins, 31 years at Michigan. On the 10-year anniversary of their national championship season, trying to do it again. Rally after losing the opening game. Hutchins a Hall of Famer next year. She'll probably become the winningest coach in D1 history with that great staff of hers. Bonnie Thole, who's been there over 20 years, and then Jen Brundage, the former Olympian who's been with her for 17 years. Montemurano went 0 for 2 yesterday. And a grounder again to Medina. Flawless at short with a couple of opportunities here in the second. 3-0 Gators as we move to the bottom of the second inning in our championship final. Someone going home with the second trophy in school history. The Gators, the Wolverines. 3-0 Florida with the lead over Michigan here in Game 3, the finals to decide the national championship as we take a look at the Cap One Cup standings update. Teams competing for a combined $400,000 scholarship dollars from Capital One. The winning team of the World Series will receive 60 points towards the Capital One Cup. Even though they're not on your standings, if Florida gets them, they'll move to the top. How about 3 runs for Florida off of Haley Wagner in the first?
Well, Haley Wagner picked up her 100th victory yesterday because she located this pitch better. Both of these curveballs in the zone. Yesterday they were out of the zone and unhittable. She's going to need to get that pitch back in the river.
RBI single for Lauren Hager. The 2-run single for Taylor Schwartz.
I got to be honest, as a defender with Michigan's defense, I got to play the outfield shallower because I keep throwing that ball, jamming those lefties, getting in on hitters. Those are not well-struck balls.
Yeah, I think positioning is a huge part of Wagner's game.
Because if you don't allow her to jam people and get outs, you take away her best pitch. Now, I think they've moved left in a little bit, but that's probably more for the lefty than anything. But I shorten the field defensively.
This is Justine McLean, 8-9, and then the top. That one scooted out of the zone, but she got McLean to go for it, 0-2. The countenance of Haley Wagner, she's been wearing that throughout this Women's College World Series. Couple of hops to third. Montemurano throws it into right. McLean going for second. The throw won't get her. Runner in scoring position for Florida at the bottom of the order. That's a single and then an E5 on the throw.
Well, this is what speed does. It makes you rush a routine play. See Montemurano come up on the throw. She just throws it off her front foot and launches it, knowing she's got to rush it.
Conference out in the circle for Michigan. We'll remind you the X Games is back with the summer installment from Austin, Texas. The 4-day event kicks off on Thursday with Harley-Davidson flat track racing. Also some Moto X step up, and it'll all come your way in front of the state capitol. X Games Austin, Thursday at 8:30 on ESPN.
So, Michelle, you can't let this run score you. I don't think you just concede the bunt here. I mean, you know they're going to bunt, but I think you try to be aggressive defensively.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to timing. If you have a shot, you go after. If you don't, you go to first.
Monroe squares, the bunt is down, the play is to first. Sacrifice gets McLean to third base, and it's Kelsey Stewart coming up. 60 feet away from adding another one for Michigan. A hit batter. The drop ball at home plate by Sweet, a throwing error, and it is not the start that Carol Hutchins was looking for. And the discussion right now to shore up the defense, as we've talked about, they really, if it's a hit in the infield here, they are going to try and prevent that run from getting in.
Well, you have a short gamer up to bat. She can hit away, but you got speed on third base. So you have a good feeling if this ball is hit on the ground, McLean at third is probably going to be breaking and moving. So you want to make sure your defense knows exactly where they're going. So you got speed in the box and on third.
And the defense so important for Michigan behind Wagner, who had not allowed a run through her first 20 innings. Nobody just reads the defense on the left side of the infield, as well as Kelsey Stewart, to find the holes.
That's exactly what she did right now. She just looked right at shortstop. She's seeing where the defense is playing, and look at her toes. She's riding that plate. She looks right at Abby Ramirez at short. She sees how far is she off the line. Can she go up the middle? Can she squeeze it in that 5-6 hole?
Curveball away, 2-0. SEC Player of the Year. And we'll still have one more year to go at Florida.
I think this is a smart move, whether intentional or not. Not giving her anything good to hit. She might be 1 for 6, but this is the best hitter in Florida history.
And Tim Walton says she's probably the best he's ever coached or been around in his softball career.
Part of the problem with putting her on is that then Lauren Hager more than likely would come up to bat in this inning with runners on base. And this is where the Gators, when they're firing on all cylinders, they're a tough lineup to pitch to.
Does come back into the zone, full count.
Stewart looking at the defense. She sees that they're in, that's why she's swinging away.
Three-two pitch, and she delivers. 4-0 Florida. And Stewart's going to head for second, and she slides in safely. All the energy right now with the Gators.
And this is what makes Kelsey Stewart so good. She looks and surveys. I watched her eyes look and see where Ramirez was. She saw that she was pulled in, so she takes this outside pitch and just plops it right over her head at short. The speed to take a single, turn it into a double, and get herself an RBI.
And in the bottom of the second inning, Michigan with a pitching change. Haley Wagner pulled for 4-0 Florida with the lead over Michigan, and a pitching change for the Wolverines. Megan Betza, the sophomore from McDonough, Georgia, who had started the first 3 games at the World Series, will now come on to replace Haley Wagner, who only got through an inning and a third. And with 1 out, it's the number 2 hitter, Nicole DeWitt, with Kelsey Stewart. Good speed out at second base. Her RBI double added another run to the lead. Off speed at 55 miles an hour, drops in 1-1. That's a 31 wins on the season. She was the Big Ten Pitcher of the Year and a first-team All-American. Got a win against Alabama on Thursday and then was lifted in her next 2 starts on Friday and Sunday. And that's when Wagner kind of took over. But we've heard from Carol Hutchins that both of her pitchers have had a very good reliever mentality all year long. And Betts' job now to keep it to just 4.
No.
And they're going to say that hit Nicole DeWitt. That would be the second hit batter.
Carol Hutchins, I think, probably trying to argue if it hit the knob of the bat or her hand, because it was so close. Clearly, we saw right there it hit her hand.
Actually, a good job by DeWitt because the knob was exposed and she twisted at the last minute. Hand is not a part of the bat in softball. And now it's Lauren Hager, the RBI single in the first. First time she is seeing Megan Betts up. Seven RBI now driven in here at the World Series. She has 4 of their 7 in the championship series. Time now for the pick you up moment of the game, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. And let's go back to that first. Little bloop single to score Stewart.
And I think the reason Hager gets those hits is where she's positioned in the batter's box. She sets herself up so well. Look at where her toes are pointed. Look where her body is square.
And that comes into Lauren Hager. 3rd hit batter. And the bases are loaded. That'll bring up Taylor Fuller, who has 8 career Grand Slams. Betts comes in with a first pitch strike. Fuller 0 for 1 with a pop up to third base in the first inning. That was against Haley Wagner. Oh, and 2. Four of those 8 Grand Slams have come this year. Did not break the plane.
Betts' reaction, she wants this call. She did.
She most certainly did break the plane.
Might have been a double in the gap, but she made contact.
Yeah.
One-two pitch. Foul ball. 1 run already in. Stewart, who doubled, she's down at third base. And then DeWitt hit by a pitch. Lauren Hager hit by a pitch. One-two from Betsa. 2-2. And the strikeout for Megan Betsa. 2 down. That's her first, and she'll now face Kirsty Merritt. Laid down a bunt her first time up. She has changed the way she has been hitting. Prior, much more of a power hitter, went back to her roots as a singles hitter. Still has 7 home runs on the year. Now down in the count 0-2.
And Merritt always has a little bit of a tendency to sneak back, sneak a look back to see where the catcher's set up.
Misses that away, 1-2. Chases the rise, Betza, a couple of strikeouts. Florida gets a run in, but they leave them loaded, and the defending champs in the driver's seat behind Lauren Hager.
It would be really special to be the first, SEC team to repeat, or it would just feel like a very special moment for all of us to know that we put in just as much hard work as we did last.
Well, this week on ESPNW.com, all the latest from around the Women's College World Series. Holly Rowe with a terrific story on Chad Tuff, as well as all the coverage from the Women's College World Series, the special wristbands that the Michigan players are wearing for Lloyd Carr's grandson, Chad, who has a brain tumor. All the maize and blue here thinking about him as they try and go for a national championship against Florida. Both sides with a good story. You've probably seen the sunflowers in the hair of the Florida players as well, for a friend that they lost last year to pediatric cancer, trying to raise awareness for that as well, Heather Braswell. And now Haley Wagner to lead things off here. The bottom of the order gets hit by a pitch. Well, the NBA Finals will start on Thursday on ABC. It's LeBron James making his 5th consecutive NBA Finals trip. The Cavs will take on Steph Curry and Golden State. NBA Countdown will get you started tomorrow night at 8:30, and then Game 1, 9 Eastern on ABC. Let's go. Former Michigan Hooper Mitch McGarry, who plays here with the OKC Thunder, has been supporting the Wolverines throughout this World Series. Pinch runner for Michigan, Mary Sabonik, will run for Wagner, who can re-enter. Of course, Haley was the pitcher, stays in the lineup as the DP. First base runner for Michigan, after Hager had retired the first 6 she faced. Blanco, the freshman from Huntington Beach, California. And that hit her as well. Of course, this has been a story throughout the season with so many hit batters. We've seen, 4 of them this inning. 2 each.
It misses. She's got the elbow pad there, but it actually goes just above it. Got her on the tricep.
A couple in the top of the 3rd for Michigan. There were also a couple in the bottom of the 2nd for Florida.
Well, if you're Michigan, you need to put one up this inning, at least one up this inning, I think, to get momentum kind of back into your dugout.
Well, barring a double play, you've got a good chance of getting Sierra Romero to the plate. She is 3rd in line right now with nobody out. the greatest power hitter in Michigan history.
Well, Kurt, this was a baseball game. 2 hit by batters by Florida last inning, 2 hit by batters for Michigan this inning.
Yeah, there's probably a meeting on the mound with both clubs at some point.
And that's the difference, I think. In baseball, it's a clear cut, hey, you got 2 of my guys, I got 2 yours. In softball, you don't give the free passes.
But you know as well as I do, this is the World Series. You save those things for next year in the game like this. This is about winning.
Abby Ramirez, the number 9 hitter. She had a 2-run single in game 1 of the series. And she's been swinging a good bat here in Oklahoma City. Went 3 for 3 against UCLA. 0-1 from Hager. 0-2.
Michelle, I'm all for getting balls called strikes as a pitcher, but I think for both of us, hitter-pitcher, you're looking for consistency.
Yeah, because it makes you chase that next one. I mean, you got 2 strikes, and as a hitter, and to hear a pitcher say that is great, because you want to get what you want, maybe a little bit off, but when it's way off, it changes a little bit of the game.
Ramirez strikes out. 1 down, got her with a changeup.
Well, and that's the key, is that all the athletes need to know what the strike zone is. And when you don't, it's very hard to predict what you should or shouldn't swing at. So here's a changeup. It's up in the zone, dumps down, back in. And this is what makes Lauren Hager so lethal, is the ability to throw that pitch in any count. To me, that's her best pitch in this postseason. It's really controlled everything else that she's thrown.
Sierra Lawrence. There's another change that misses low. She had a line out to short in her first at-bat.
And that's the pitch that made Lauren Hager the number 3 pitcher for Florida last year to the ace for this year. It's the off-speed. It helps solidify her as dominant instead of hittable.
Well, the other challenge, I think, for hitters is when a good pitcher can throw balls and get strikes, and it makes you swing at things you don't normally, that make you a good hitter, it changes, I would imagine it changes how you approach the at-bat. I know it changes how I approach pitching to a hitter.
Exactly. The big thing is that you have to figure out the umpire's strike zone. We talk about 3 strike zones: the pitchers, the batters, the most important one, the umpires. If he's giving that one corner of the plate as a hitter, you got to go up protecting, knowing it's going to be called.
2-1 to Lawrence. Another change for a strike. Lawrence got a piece of it.
You know what I find coming from baseball to this field, the pretty swing in baseball is the same beautiful swing in softball. Everything when they make contact and get to that spot, Jess, is perfect.
I agree, Kurt, and that's, I think, the most beautiful part about it is I was taught by a baseball coach, and my dad was a baseball coach, and I think when you look at these swings, look at Tim Walton. He teaches hitting for Florida, and he's a baseball background. It goes for both sides.
2-2 to Lawrence. Hager came in on the hands. Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming. Got her to pop it up. Schwartz with room. 2 down with Romero coming up.
Well, and how does Lauren Hager get Romero out? She starts her off with a changeup, but then she comes back inside and then comes back with that off-speed pitch. She gets the ground out, and it really is all about mixing speeds with Romero. On the flip side, Jess, if I'm Romero, I'm sitting change.
Yeah, because you know that she's going to be able to come back with that pitch, especially it's been her go-to all game long.
All right, how are you going to throw it right here? One swing from Romero makes this a one-run game. Here comes the 1-0 from Hager. 1-1. Their career leader in home runs and runs batted in. Best batting average in school history with Sabanek and Rijvalski, the two pinch runners. Choking up on that bat a little bit to foul one off.
And that's the pitch she wants, but she hasn't hit against Hager. I mean, did you see her unleash that last strike? She could have just spit on it. I mean, she had wanted nothing to do with it. But up and in, she's hacking. Which makes her susceptible to the change.
Down in the dirt, blocked by Monroe.
That's the off-speed pitch. Hager gets that for a strike. She has a chance to get Romero.
But in this situation, from a pitcher's perspective, that's perfectly located because that ball doesn't leave the yard. In the dirt ball, that is.
That's for a golfer.
3-2 pitch. You're letting her go here? Or you're going after her?
Oh, I'm going after her. But the disadvantage now is the runners get the move.
They'll be on the go with 2 outs. Romero just foul ball. Now it's called a foul ball. Coach Hutch was calling it fair.
Where it goes over the bag, foul.
Good call.
All-American versus All-American in the national championship game. We talked about what a great leader she has been all year, how she has elevated the play of her teammates. And a moment to take care of business and get the Wolverines back in this game.
And that's where Romero's hands, that's just a show off right there. I mean, there's not a lot of batters that can just waste up and away when you're looking in. I mean, she just throws her hands and gets a piece of it to waste it and say, give me something better, Hager.
I tell you, it reminds me of Tony Gwynn. His ability, your ability to foul nasty pitches off to wait for one.
Another 3-2, fouls another one off. Tenth pitch of the at-bat and the 50th of the night coming for Lauren Hager.
Family and little sister looking on.
Lays off it, draws the walk, and the bases are loaded, and Michigan will bring the tying run to the plate with 2 out.
Wow, that was an impressive
10-pitch AB, Kurt.
Unbelievable at bat. And honestly, I thought it was unbelievable bat from both perspectives. I thought Lauren made some great pitches, and Sierra just battled.
Bases loaded, all by free passes. And it's Kelly Christner looking at a changeup. 22 home runs, 82 RBI. Back-to-back changes.
That is guts right there. That's confidence in a pitch that's gotten you where you're at right now. Obviously, Christner wanted nothing to do with it.
And again, that's my question. Why are they not sitting on that pitch? That's the pitch that really sets up everything. And she's thrown a lot of them for first pitches. In fact, 6 first pitch changeups to set up the at-bat.
One-two from Hager. Struck her out. Michigan loads him up and then leaves him that way. After a couple of hit batters and a walk, Lauren Hager gets the strikeout of Michigan's number 3 hitter. Rise ball over the top of Christner's bat, and the lead stays 4-zip. Each side has a national championship. Sam Finley's iconic blast helping Michigan to the 2005 Natty Championship. And then just a year ago for the Florida Gators, Hannah Rogers getting the final out against Alabama. They had practiced the dog pile and they got to do it. The second SEC championship in the last 3 years, and Jessica Merchant, the Michigan shortstop, and now an assistant coach at Minnesota. There's Jenny Ritter and Becky Marks, the battery for that national championship campaign. They wrote letters and delivered them to the players the other day to help in their preparations on the 10-year anniversary to try and do it again. The advice to the current crop of Wolverines: served them well last night in Game 2 in a 1-0 victory. But the Gators right now on a mission to go back-to-back. It would be the first time that's happened since Arizona in 2006 and 2007. They have got something going in Gainesville. This is their 4th finals in 7 years. Well, the U.S. men's national team is on ESPN Friday. They're taking on the Netherlands in an international friendly. It's the Netherlands and the U.S. live from Amsterdam, Friday at 2:20 Eastern on ESPN. 0-2 to Taylor Schwartz. And the strikeout 3rd in a row for Megan Betza after she got a couple of Ks with the bases loaded in the last inning. Wagner, by the way, still wearing the glove over there in the dugout, just in case. But right now it's the bats that have to get going for Michigan. Only lasted an inning and a third after she had 20 consecutive scoreless innings here at the World Series.
Megan Betza doing a good job this evening. In Game 1, if you look at the line, she really did not pitch bad. They just made one decision to pitch to Lauren Hager when maybe they shouldn't have. You take away that at bat, you walk Lauren Hager. Game 1's completely different.
You know, Wheaton pops it up. Now Morales got it 2 down. Yeah, you could certainly make the case that the Wolverines could have won that Game 1. They had the tying run at third base in the 7th inning, and it was left stranded there in a 1-run game.
I think if Michigan somehow finds a way back into this game, those 2 strikeouts last inning will be the reason why.
Justine McLean, who singled and scored in the 2nd.
Talking to a pitching coach for Michigan, Jennifer Brundage, she mentioned it's ironic because both of these pitchers pitch better coming out of the bullpen. And that's what the debate has been, who starts, because that's when they struggle, those first couple innings. But when they come in cleanup duty, they said they revel in that role. That's where they want to be.
And I think part of Wagner's issues today was just her location. So then it makes you wonder, what are your bullpens like pre-game? Are you throwing enough pitches? Are you locating them enough? Are you game ready? Because that's a big decision on how a pitcher warms up for the game, how they prepare for that game, how many pitches do they throw, how many of each pitch do they throw.
Well, and I also find when you perpetuate that and talk about that, you end up giving somebody that excuse.
Out into shallow center, Lawrence was positioned properly.
Welcome back back to the Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. Here with the Gators head coach Tim Walton. And coach, what was the biggest adjustment your batters made in the box to face Haley Wagner? You got on top of her pretty early.
Yeah, we just, we had to try to keep it simple. I thought yesterday we just did a good job of letting her create the tempo, and her break and her velocity is really good. So we just had to shorten up a little bit and try to get some better pitches to swing at.
When you guys went up 4-0, I saw you gather the team together and were saying, hey, we need to focus. What do you want them to realize about this Michigan offense that they're capable of coming back?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing is I've been trying to tell our team is that we have 20 players on our team, and it's 20 versus 1. We're not going to get caught up in one person's excitement or one person's, fear or disgust at their bat or make a play on defense. It's 20 versus 1. I want all 20 of my players to be on the same page at all times to hunt this whole game.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you very much, Holly. Well, Michigan has not been able to muster a hit yet off of Lauren Hager as we move to the fourth. They had 3 base runners, had them loaded, free passes in the third inning, and Hager with a big rise ball strikeout of Kelly Christner. So now she'll face 4, 5, 6. Susala grounded to short in her first at-bat. She had the game-winning RBI for them yesterday in the 1-0 win. Out to left, DeWitt has it. 1 down. The SEC regular season champs, they shared the #1 ranking throughout the season with Oregon and LSU. They hadn't lost to a non-conference opponent until yesterday. They were 35-0 against teams outside the SEC. After starting out the year 28-0. They saw their streak of 15 consecutive NCAA tournament wins snapped yesterday, but that ties the record for most consecutive postseason wins. And Hager has been dominant throughout with just 7 runs allowed in their 10 NCAA games. 6 wins by shutout. It has not been easy to score off of her in the postseason. One, 2 to sweep. Got another one. 2 down. Here comes the screwball.
Lauren Hager's just in a zone. It's her location. Look at where she puts this ball. She's going to bait you into swinging it at balls, and that's what great pitchers do. They throw pitches that look like strikes, move out of the zone, are balls, and they get you to swing through it.
Third different strikeout pitch she's used, along with the rise and the change. And Morano grounded to short, her first AB. Takes a look at a strike, 1-1.
Hager's just hammering the zone right now. One of the first 2 pitches, she's just throwing right over the white part of the plate. I'm surprised that Michigan isn't trying to be a little more aggressive on some of those pitches that are right through the zone.
And with what, 10 outs left, yeah, you're probably only going to get up one more time unless you can get a rally going.
But I think her first pitch strikes, she's changed every inning. Last inning, it was a first pitch changeup. Now it's been first pitch away. And I think if I'm going up thinking, okay, she threw me a first pitch changeup, I'm sitting change now, she's throwing me out.
And 2 curveballs on the outside corner. Second pitch of the at-bat, fourth pitch of the at-bat. Almost in the same location. You see the same pitch twice in the same location, you got to be aggressive on it.
Morano grounds to Stewart. 3 up and 3 down for Hager to the bottom of the 4th. Florida up 4. Holly Road with Coach Hutch when we come back.
Welcome back to the Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. Here with Michigan coach Carol Hutchins. And coach, Lauren Hager is on fire right now. In your own words, the changeup has been very effective. How can you approach that pitch differently?
Well, we have had a couple of our hitters try to sit on it, but then they got their opportunity, didn't swing. So we have got to be committed to what we're to our game plan. And she is on fire. We have to fight through our at-bats. Roma had a great at-bat and fought, but we're starting to let her get the best of us.
How do you overcome that mentally? You know, it's one thing to make a physical change, but how do your batters attack her?
They have to go up there with confidence. They need to just be confident whether she throws a change or a fast pitch. We're starting to let her get in our head.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you, Holly. Yeah, that changeup, well, 10 of them have been for strikes, guys, but only 2 of them have been swung at. As Coach Hutchins was referring to the missed opportunities. So the Wolverines back out there defensively behind Megan Betza, who will face 9 and then the top of the order. The top 3 batters for Florida, they've scored 3 of their 4 runs. They have been the energizers. Monroe had a sacrifice that led to the single run in the second inning. As Justine McQueen eventually came around to score. Opportunity to go back-to-back. Of course, Tim Walton has been able to lean on his good friendship with former Gator basketball coach Tim Donovan. They've also talked, Billy Donovan, they've also talked about how well his staff does in the recruiting process. They look for winners. They look for high character players that win big time in the summer and in high school ball. And then some great advice from Billy Donovan as well. Three and one the count to Monroe. Only UCLA and Arizona have ever gone back-to-back. They've done it 6 times. UCLA a three-peat back in the late 80s and early 90s. Those are the 2 dominant programs in the sport's history. The Pac-12 Conference owned the first 3 decades, 23 national championships. A significant shift east. Monroe just foul. And Michigan, of course, has held strong in the Midwest. This is their 3rd trip back to the World Series since they won it all in 2005. Their first trip back to the finals. 3-2 from Betza. Lost her. Let's check in with Holly.
Well, the advice that Billy Donovan gave Tim Walton on how to repeat is, you know, the second year he said, I came back, I thought we had to work harder, grind longer. And he said, what I realized halfway through the year is nobody was having fun. We were playing tight. It was awful. He said, what I've learned is trust your process. Trust what got you there the first time and stop and enjoy the moments. Those moments were laser tag for one day here on their day off in Oklahoma City. They had a bowling party to put the championship behind them and focus on the new year. So Tim Walton has done a really nice job of stopping, enjoying the moments along the way to this repeat opportunity.
Well, they certainly have done that and celebrated the championship earlier this year. Check swing from Stuart Montemorano to second for 1. That's all they'll get. Here's a look at what the Bruins and Arizona did through the 80s and 90s, and then UCLA 03 and 04, and Arizona back-to-back 06-07. We should note, by the way, Tim Walton is a very competitive guy. He stacked his teams for laser tag and for bowling. Wasn't about to lose.
I got to tell you, you know, coming from the baseball diamond and getting involved in summer softball, fast pitch, my daughter's going to Division III, but Division III, Division II, and a lot of the quality of the game has gotten up tremendously in the last 5 or 6 years.
And that's why we've seen the talent spread out. Before, you know, talent came from one part of the country, you know, Southern California, Texas, and partially Florida. Now it's everywhere. Anyone can learn because that knowledge is being passed, and there's a lot of great baseball and softball coaches out there teaching it.
And indoor training facilities, so even like Michigan, when it's snowy in the winter, you can still get your hacks in. You can still go to the batting cage.
Yeah.
And Arizona and former Olympic coach Mike Candrea has talked about how much television has really improved the growth of the game. You can now scout and you can see hitters and pitchers that you didn't used to see until they showed up and played you at your park. Here's the 2-1. Stewart's going to be on the move.
She picked a perfect pitch to steal on a changeup. Read it well and got to second.
So now a chance for DeWitt to add to the lead. Called strike 3.
Great pitch.
4th for Betza.
Talked about Betts' ability to throw to many different locations. She comes back with another off-speed. Look at the way she's going to hammer this at the top of the zone. It's coming in at 55 miles an hour with that over-the-top rotation.
You know, it's funny, I asked Sierra Romero when she faces Betza in the offseason what the toughest pitch is, and she says it's a pitch that kind of comes up and then down, and that's it right there. It's that off-speed pitch, because they intentionally decide to walk Hager.
Finally.
Yeah, not going to bother with her. She singled and drove in a run in the first. She has been the main RBI producer for Florida here in the tournament and in the championship series. They'll take their chances with Taylor Fuller instead. Betza struck her out back in the second.
This has been the spot in the lineup that Tim Walton has had a hard time figuring out who to put. Kirstie Merritt was there. He said he had to move her. She couldn't handle the pressure. You see Taylor Fuller taking a deep breath. It's a pressure-packed position to follow Lauren Hager.
Fuller trying to drop it down with 2 outs, and the throw to first with 2 on base. And Tim Walton wondering if that was a miscommunication on the signal with his batter. 4-0 Gators. Welcome back to the NCAA Women's College World Series presented by Capital One. Hall of Fame Stadium here in Oklahoma City. The final game of the year, the winner will take home the national championship trophy, and Florida with the 4-0 lead over Michigan. They scored 3 in the first and 1 more in the second. And Michigan does not have a hit yet off of Lauren Hager as we head to the top of the 5th. And she'll lead it off with a changeup to Haley Wagner. Wagner was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. Michigan would load the bases, but could not break through. Wagner fouls it back into the screen. During the season, their .340 batting average, 15th best in the country, but in a couple of regular season games and now 3 in the postseason, just 179 against the Gators. And that came right in on the hands of Wagner, and the pop-up caught by Hager. 1 down. Tara Blanco was also hit by a pitch in the 3rd. off speed again, 1-1. Stays with the slow stuff. Missed it low, 2-1.
What do you guys, the criteria for umpiring, are these the league's best umpires, the division's best umpires, or is it a rotation?
I believe that there's a committee that picks the umpires, and there's an umpire-in-chief. You earn your way here.
Right. Yep. Oh, it's just like the big leagues in the World Series. Okay.
Best of the best. Michigan has been down before. They're going to have to try and do it again to get back in it against Hager. An uphill battle. 2-2 from Lauren. Full count.
Tara Blanco off the plate. She's kind of moving in the box. You see her kind of move her feet back, keeps moving them back, even as the pitch is starting to come.
And gets the base hit through the left side. First hit of the night from Michigan and a one-out base runner. Well, don't forget, we'll go from softball right into the NBA Finals tomorrow night. It'll start with NBA Countdown at 8:30 Eastern. LeBron James and the Cavs, Steph Curry and the Warriors. Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Thursday night on ABC. We've got a couple of NBA guys here. Andre Roberson here as well. Checking out the softball.
And I think Kurt is actually eating that really good barbecue you were eating yesterday.
Yeah, that was some big league barbecue. I was born in Alaska. I grew up in Arizona. I've never had barbecue till I came here. So, Jess, or actually, Michelle, what on the mound, what did they talk? Either up 4-0, you got an out and a runner on. What's the discussion, if any, with the pitcher?
Well, I think just continuing to go right at the hitters. The big thing, too, with Ramirez up, who's a slapper, just making sure that they are going right after her. The speed, getting an out somewhere because she turns over the lineup for Lawrence Romero. Christner.
Yep.
Ramirez struck out on a changeup in the third. 1-1.
I think Blanco did a good job. She broke up a no-hitter that had been going through until this inning because she made adjustments even within the pitch. She recognized, okay, this is a pitch I'm going to see, and she started moving within the batter's box.
And Jess, that she barreled that ball too. That was as hard to hit a ball as they've had all night.
But look how far she was off the plate to do it. I mean, she started far, started moving away, moving away. Hager's been owning that part of the plate. No one's touched it. It's the only way to do it thus far.
One-two to Ramirez. That will drift out of play.
So, Michelle, for the young pitchers out there, when you're facing a slap, a lefty slap that's this good, is it you pitch them in or you pitch them out?
Well, it depends if you're right-handed or left-handed. I was a lefty, so I was.
If you're a normal righty,
you know, they're looking to shoot the ball to the left side into that 5-6 hole and give themselves the most amount of time to get down the line. So the outside pitch does them a little bit of a favor. So I think you've got to keep them honest, though. Throw them inside, and then once in a while hammer them to the outside corner as well. And then, of course, mix speeds to try to mess up their timing through the box.
2-2 to Ramirez. Blocked by Medina, but everybody will be safe. So she was going for that 5-6 hole, and they do. Turn it over to the top of the order with one out.
you're good, Michelle. She's good.
Well, I think Abby's good, too.
Yeah, that was a great bat.
She took a pitch that was inside and did a nice job of keeping her hands inside of it. And that's tough for the slappers, Michelle. I mean, you're right in throwing them in, but when you're running to the ball and you're able to keep your hands inside, get that base hit.
And for Michigan, you're right where you want to be in your batting order with Sierra Lawrence and Sierra Romero. They will try and overcome the 4-run deficit. The best they've done this year, 3 runs down. They've done that a couple of times here at the World Series. And encouraging the Maize and Blue to get on their feet.
And I got to tell you, I obviously I don't know the history of Coach Hudson as much as anybody else. I've heard a lot about her. Watching the way she communicates with her players, it's very clear that she develops an incredibly close relationship with the ladies on her team.
Learned about Michigan from Bo Schembechler. And her players love what they call her insane energy, and they're feeding off of it right now. One and one. Goes with that away, fouls it off, 1 and 2.
Carol Hutchins has asked her hitters to sit on pitches, and Lawrence, her last hit that she got, she lined out to the shortstop, but she was looking in, setting herself up for it.
Lawrence misses high, the throw down not in time as Stewart tried to apply the tag to Blanco. Those middle infielders looking for a double play ball right here. Lawrence fouls off the change.
And this is, I think, what you miss, Michelle, when you're not calling your own game, because right now Lawrence is tipping where she's looking. Her front foot is opening up. She hasn't done this all series. She's opening up that front side, trying to get something in. And you don't see that from the dugout.
And the battery needs to recognize it.
In the dirt, Monroe with the block. The runners will hold, but now the count goes full as the changeup missed its mark. Lawrence going out to right. McLean coming on to make the catch. 2 down.
And with 2 strikes, Lawrence does a good job. Watch where her front side opens, but her arms go to the ball. She strikes this ball so well. Florida positioned perfectly.
Sierra Romero, who drew a walk on a 10-pitch at-bat in the third, will step in with 2 on and 2 out. Romero drills it back up the middle. Merritt's throw back to the infield is cut, and sliding in safely at home is Tara Blanco. And Michigan finally got a changeup they could see and rip.
And this is what Hutchins has wanted her team to do. Sit, change. And Romero does that. She looks for this option. You see her recognize it with her eyes. She pulls it right through the middle. And what I'm surprised is that Christy Merritt in center field, she can go all the way home with this, and instead she throws it to the cut Medina.
Kelly Christner struck out twice on a rise ball, once looking, once swinging. In a 4-1 game here in the national championship. Christner towering drive out to center, just got under it. Couple left on for Michigan, but the Wolverines put one on the board. Sierra Romero, the run. The national championship tonight, and so far it is Florida as Michigan gets a run up in the 5th, but they are now down to just 6 outs as Lauren Hager has kept them in check so far with that changeup. Beth Mullins, along with our Olympic gold medalist Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, also doing it with the bat.
Yep.
She's driven in another run. That's 4 in the championship series, but so far she's kept Michigan off balance.
Well, and over 90 pitches that she's thrown tonight, approximately 25% of those have been changeups. So the question is, why isn't Michigan doing a little bit of a better job of reacting, adjusting, sitting on that pitch?
We've seen 2 batters do it. I mean, everyone else, no hit up until that last inning. Tara Blanco backed off the plate, looked for a location, and Sierra Romero, first pitch, she sat on that change.
Romero drove in the run for Michigan. Kirstie Merritt gets hit. 5, 6, and 7 here for Florida. And the 7-day total, nearly 80,000 fans have come here to Hall of Fame Stadium. That is the highest number in the history of this tournament, now in its 34th year. We have seen it grow so much over the years. 6 different national champs in the last 6 years as parity is spread around the country. But Florida right now looking to go back to back. Schwartz trying to drop it down to move the runner. She had a 2-run single in the first, struck out in the third. Eight starters back from that championship team a year ago. Losing their ace in the circle, Hannah Rogers, and their third baseman, Stephanie Topp. All the other Gators are back. This is a Michigan team that will have almost everyone coming back next year. Wagner, the only senior in their main rotation. Two from Betza. 3-2. Betza has not given up a hit since she came on in relief in the second inning. Wagner, by the way, could return if need be, could re-enter. Hit and run was on. They're at 22 of 24 in her stolen base attempts this year. There she goes again, fouled straight back.
Good battle right now by Schwartz. Betz is trying to get her out with the rise ball, and she keeps fouling off. That's usually a K pitch for her. With 3 balls, she doesn't want to go too much higher and walk her.
Another 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Tenth pitch of this at-bat for Taylor Schwartz.
Michelle, I got to ask you too, because she's going with the same pitch over and over. Does this mean full count she's not as confident in her changeup to throw it for a strike?
Yeah, I'd throw something here. I'd take a little off my rise ball and get her to look at a little off speed. But yeah, it's a good point. She comes back with it there. But to me, it still needs to be just a little bit slower.
Well, you got nobody out. You got a runner on first. You want the ball in play here. So for me, it's about throwing the pitch you have the best command with.
12th pitch of this at-bat. And gets the strikeout, the throw down to Ramirez, and the stolen base for Merritt. Got her on the change. 1 down.
You see that ball just going to lift up and dive back down. That's the way that Betza really gets that over-the-top action on it. Picks up the strikeout, but Merritt does move up 60 feet.
Now it's Janelle Wheaton. Grounded out in the first, popped up in the third. Right back in again, 0-2. Wheaton doesn't chase. Freshman out of San Dimas, California. Has a couple of at-bats in their first 2 games here. No swings in their last 3. Coming in tonight.
I'll tell you what, I think Betza has a lot more control tonight than she did 2 games ago. I mean, she did pitch well, but she didn't have as much control. To see that 3-2 count and have her win that at-bat is a different pitcher from 48 hours ago. She would have lost that at-bat, thrown another ball in there. She didn't have the pinpoint accuracy that she's showing right now.
Well, and her demeanor on the mound, the way she walks to the back of the circle, approaches the pitching rubber, you can tell she just has a different mindset.
Rise ball gets away from her. 2-2.
It's clear Jennifer Brundage, she was right. She said Betza is more comfortable coming from the bullpen. Both of their pitchers are. It's a good and bad thing to have.
We'd like one of them to be strong right from the start, as Wagner was yesterday. Got into trouble in the first, and it started with a hit batter. Count goes full again. With Merritt down at second. Pop foul. Pitches in the inning now for Betza, and still just the 1 out. And the strikeout. 2 in a row. That's 6 for Betza. 2 down.
And again, relying on that off-speed pitch. I love the way she releases this. Look at the way it's going to pop out from behind her wrist action, the way she gets over top of this pitch. Look at the fingers. Look at the way the fingers pull up on that ball so it rotates over the top and just dives down out of the zone.
Now it's Justine McLean. Singled and scored in the second, flew out to center field in the third. Rolling into the bottom of the Florida lineup. Ball in for a strike, 0-2.
That's a big one for Betza. If she can get the top of the strike zone, borderline ball to be called, with her being a rise ball pitcher, huge advantage.
Slap foul. Merritt will head back to second, hit by a pitch on a stolen base for Kirsty to get herself into scoring position. Gators will try and become just the 5th top seed to win this tournament in the last 11 years. It hasn't been easy on the favorites. And it's happened just twice in the last 7 championship series.
There's something about having a bullseye on your back. Makes it tough. Everybody's shooting for you.
Slow roller down to first, and there won't be anywhere to go with it for Blanco. Runners on the corners with 2 outs.
You heard Megan Betza screaming out as soon as the ball was hit that it hit the batter. That's why she actually didn't even go for the ball. She was pointing the whole way that it hit the batter. Umpire called it a no-hit.
Infield single for McLean. It's Aubrey Monroe, the number 9 hitter.
Watch Betza's reaction. The ball does not hit her.
First and third situation, the throw down to third, and Merritt dives back in safely. Try and bait the throw down to second by getting the runner to go from first. Michigan doesn't bite. So now 2 in scoring position for Monroe. It up. Montemorano running out of room and can't reel it in. Critical to keep these 2 off the board if you're on the Michigan side.
I think it's critical to keep this one. I don't think they got 6 outs left.
Rise balls, strike 2. Four, 5, and 6 would be due up for Michigan in the top of the 6th inning. And another strikeout for Betza, her 3rd of the inning. A couple left stranded, but Florida still up 3.
The NCAA Women's College World Series is presented by the Capital One Venture Card. Earn unlimited double miles you can use.
4-1 Florida with the lead over Michigan as we head to the top of the 6th inning. And we also take a look at our Capital One Cup impact performance. And who else? Lauren Hager. She hasn't lost back-to-back games her entire career. And right now, she's got the 4-1 lead. She has been spectacular here at the World Series in the circle and at the plate. She has an RBI single, and she's also thrown 5 innings and allowed just 3 hits. And has struck out 4 and walked 1. She started last year's decisive game, did not get a decision, and starting tonight, looking for the win and her second, and the Gators' second national championship in a row. Michigan put up a threat in the 3rd, left the bases loaded. Another scoring threat in the 5th, denied. And now it's 4, 5, and 6 coming up. Down to their final 6 outs to decide the national championship. In at the knees for a strike, 1-1. Oh for 2 tonight, 7 for 17 here at the World Series. Susala with the fly ball out to center. Kirsty Merritt has it. Let's check in with Holly.
Carol Hutchins of Michigan just pulled her team together in the huddle. She pointed to the ground. Leave everything on this field right now. The most important thing, One pitch focus. Don't think of 3 runs down. Don't think of this moment too big. One pitch focus is all I need.
Will it be Lauren Sweet to get something started? Slow grounder to Stewart. Double clutched, but still got her at the bag. 2 outs. Next up is Lindsay Montemurano. And if Hager can take care of this out, it would be the bottom of the order for Michigan in the 7th inning. It looks like Carol Hutchins will go to the bench here to get a pinch hitter up to hit for Montemurano. Amanda Vargas. Freshman and from Rancho Santa Margarita High School. 294 on the season with 4 home runs.
She didn't skip a beat. Came off the bench. She had a game plan. Didn't execute it on the first pitch, but she wasn't taking.
One and one. Vargas, and that will drop over the head of Medina, and the pinch hitter on board with 2 outs.
It's almost as if Vargas has been sitting there on the bench waiting to have her moment, because she comes in taking swings that we have not seen Michigan batters do. And even though this just drops in, it's the aggressiveness, swinging at pitches early in the zone when a lot of batters have take, which Carol Hutchins told Holly Rowe that was her biggest frustration.
High fives from her teammates as Nikki Wald will come on to pinch run for her. Haley Wagner, she's talked about how special it is to put that Michigan jersey on one final time tonight. Her moment may not come in the circle, it may come at the plate.
Well, I think if you're both clubs right now, you're kind of looking at the Michigan lineup and where Romero fits into these last 4 outs.
There are 3 more batters after Wagner before Romero would get a chance. And Wagner gets hit again. Slams the bat down. 2 on with 2 outs. Second time she's been hit by a pitch, and was also hit on the finger on a pop-up. That will move Wald into scoring position, and now the Wolverines here in the top of the 6th with the tying run at the plate. Three hit batters tonight from Hager. Tara Blanco was one of those. She also has a single and a run scored. Number 8 batter in the order. And now Tim Walton will come out of the dugout to have a chat. And the Michigan faithful will make a little noise. Delaney Gorley, the reliever who got the win last year in Game 2 to clinch the championship for the Gators, now getting loose as Hager has hit the 100 pitch count. Usually not as big a deal in softball as it is in baseball.
I know I'm tired watching it. Not to mention I wouldn't have a hit.
A 1 run allowed on 4 hits.
Well, Jess, if you're hitting right here, I mean, this is, I always thought it was tougher on hitters to focus on the pitch instead of what's going on the at-bat. Yeah, you can tie the game, but you need to put a good swing on the ball.
It's like what Hutch told the team in the huddle. It's one pitch, and it's so hard to have that perspective when you have the emotion that comes with these moments. They're working with 4 outs, and as a hitter, you know that.
In for a strike, 2-1. Changeup is in for a strike. If nothing else for Michigan, this does mean, even if they don't score, that Romero will have another chance in the 7th inning. To short, Medina will fire to first. Got her. The Gators with a 3-run lead. They're 3 outs away in the final appearance at Florida for Lauren Hager.
It's going to be my last day in the Gator uniform, win or lose, and I think that is special. And I'm just going to go out there and compete like everyone in the nation knows that I can compete.
4-1 Florida with the lead over Michigan as we move to the bottom of the 6th. The Gators 3 outs away from back-to-back national championships. Michigan needs a rally to win their 2nd title on this, the 10th anniversary of their 1st. Top of the order, Stewart, DeWitt, and Lauren Hager coming up. They have scored 3 of the 4 runs tonight for Florida. Stewart got the rally started in that 3-run first inning. Was hit by a pitch and scored. She also drove in a run with a double in the 2nd and reached on a fielder's choice. She's been on all 3 plate appearances. And a much better night for her. They knew they needed to have their leadoff hitter come through, and the SEC Player of the Year has done just that.
The biggest difference for Stewart has been what she's doing right there. She needs to keep that front side in. When she was struggling, she was trying to get to first base, but now she's going right at the pitcher or shortstop.
To Stewart. And another hit by pitch. Leadoff is on for Florida here in the bottom of the 6th.
This is a rise ball that just rides up and in. And then remember that river area that is owned or occupied by both the pitcher and the hitter. Both athletes work in that zone. The question is leaning in or not, ball or strike. Those are the things the umpires are looking for.
Carol Hutchins out to talk with Betza. And that defense, now you've got to deal with the speed of Kelsey Stewart. She's already got a stolen base tonight, her 25th. Fourth time in the finals, but this is the first Game 3 for Florida. They were swept a couple of times and then took 2 in a row against Alabama to win it last year. Of course, for Michigan, they lost the opener in 05, came back to win games 2 and 3. Just the 1 hit allowed by Betza on in relief of Wagner. This is Nicole DeWitt. 3-0.
Because you got a lot of speed on first. DeWitt, a slapper. You're going to see where the defense is playing, and Abby Ramirez has to come over to that 5-6 hole, which means that she's going to have a little bit more distance to get to second if Stewart decides to steal.
That's in for a strike, 3-1. Gators love to put pressure on the defense with that speed of Stewart. 3-2. Lauren Hager waiting her turn. She was intentionally walked in her last trip to the plate. Swinging a red-hot bat. And the strikeout for Betza, the throwdown. Stewart with her second swipe of the night.
I think that's a smart call by Tim Walton. One of the easiest steals you can get is when you have a slapper up the bat.
Now the question becomes, I wonder if Michigan pitches to Lauren Hager or if they put her on. And yeah, I would do the same thing.
Yep.
Vacate first base.
I honestly think they walk her whether there's someone on first or not.
Yeah.
But that's kind of why I was surprised to see the steal, just to make it a no-brainer.
Gator fans sharing their opinion of the intentional pass. So Lauren Hager has been on base all 4 times she's come up after driving in a run with a single in the first. As a batter in the NCAA tournament, 4 home runs with 11 runs batted in. She has been lethal at the plate and tough to beat in the circle as well. Hager has not been pinch run for yet, so they will get some speed on, and of course Hager can re-enter to pitch in the 7th. Chelsea Herndon over there at first. Taylor Fuller's 0 for 3 tonight. Takes that one inside, 1-0.
I can't help but think if they took that approach game 1 to Hager, that we might not be here.
She had the 2-run home run and the RBI double in game 1 in a 3-2 win. She drove in all 3 runs. She had 2 hits. The rest of the team had 2 hits in that opener.
Yeah, and you know, for me, it's really the last hit that she got after she hit the home run. That's the one that you're like, oh, okay, well, she proved why she's doing what she's doing. Yeah. I'm not going to pitch to her again, but they continued to. And that ultimately ended up being the game-winning hit, or RBI.
.3-0 count from Betza. And it hits Fuller. The bases are loaded now for Florida. Second hit batter of the inning, and an intentional walk. And the Michigan Wolverines will go back to Haley Wagner from righty to lefty with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. One out in the bottom of the 6th. Florida with the 3-run lead and 3 on. A new World Series record with 9 batters hit by a pitch tonight. 6 of them Gators. They've been hit more than they have base hits. And Kirsty Merritt will step in.
And the Rules Committee is looking at trying to figure out what can be done to try to limit the hit by pitch, which I think is a great decision. Something has to be done.
Yeah, that rule's got to change. That's not the two best teams in the country right here. We would take away the padding.
Wagner lasted an inning and a third to start the game, and now re-entering. Merritt infield pop-up, and Sweet's got it. 2 down. Taylor Schwartz is due up.
I think, Michelle, if you're on the mound, you know this is the World Series right here for you. And if you're at the plate, Jess, I think you know it too.
Schwartz had the 2-run single back in the first inning.
And you got to think about the mind of Abby Ramirez, Sierra Lawrence, and Romero, the 3 batters due up.
Yep.
Next inning, that's where the pressure is. Even though you're on defense right now, you're already thinking about that at bat. Your mind's already going there.
Here comes the 1-1 from Wagner. Backdoor curve, 1-2.
I'll tell you, as a pitcher, the one thing I've been impressed tonight is that it hasn't stopped them from pitching in, and it can't.
Slow roll to Romero. She'll apply the tag. Side retired. Florida 3 outs away from a second national championship in a row. Can the Gators celebrate again in Oklahoma City? Or will Sierra Romero have something to say about it for Michigan?
Eddie Schroff with Sherry Kemp after the game. Flip to ESPNU post-game interviews. Analysis. We'll hear from the winners and the losers. I may even wear a glitter bag.
I can't wait.
Four to 1 Florida to the top of the 7th inning as the Gators try and win a second straight national championship. And the Cap One Tournament MVP, Lauren Hager, the Capital One Tournament most outstanding player with her 3 wins at the World Series and working on another one, the biggest of all. Trying to close the door on Michigan. They will go 9-1-2. Against the National Player of the Year. Ramirez. Infield hit for Abby.
Wow. Biggest at-bat of her career to come up as a leadoff in the 7th, because all they need is a base runner.
Number 9 hitter is 2 for 3 tonight, and now a base runner here for the top of the order in Sierra Lawrence.
That's where it gets fun.
She's hit the ball hard a couple of times with a couple of lineouts. With one of the greatest to ever wear the maize and blue on deck. Just foul outside the bag at third. Lawrence waits on the off speed, a little bit in front, 0-2. Lawrence lifts another one foul. Strike 3. 1 down.
Lauren Hager works Lawrence all inside and then comes back with a curveball on the outside corner. And that is a pitch that Lawrence can hit. She drove her last at bat a curveball to right field, but watches this one go by for the first out of the inning.
Hager versus Romero with 1 out. Screwball up and in on her 0-1. Nice high, 1-1. The 2 National Players of the Year head-to-head in the top of the 7th. Inside corner, 1-2. Grounded to Medina to Stewart for 1. No throw over to first, 2 outs. And it's the last chance for Michigan. Sophomore Kelly Christner, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Hager has struck her out twice. Out in front of the change, 0-1. 32nd off-speed pitch from Hager tonight. Two.
Hutch, say foul it off. Talking about battling your 0-2. Look for a certain location, have the ability to foul off anything else.
Two from Hager. Missed away, 1-2. Grounder to first. Schwartz steps on the bag. The Florida Gators win back-to-back national championships. The dog pile at Hall of Fame Stadium for the second year in a row. And Lauren Hager and the Gators will hoist the championship trophy. 4-1 the final. She gets the win, drove in a run, and finishes up a remarkable season at Florida. Christner pulls it down the line to Schwartz. And it is party time. Tim Walton, Jennifer Rocha, Kenny Gajewski, the coaching staff. And a fantastic season for Michigan comes to a close with the loss in Game 3. Once again, our final score, the Florida Gators 4, Michigan 1. Be sure to join us on ESPNU for the Women's College World Series postgame show. Sports Center is coming up next, and then we'll send it right back out to us back here at the Women's College World Series for more coverage. Thank you so much for joining us all week here in Oklahoma City. Now to John Anderson and John Buccigross with Sports Center.
Give me your Gator clap. National champ Florida, back-to-back years. The trophy stays in Gainesville, Michigan. A phenomenal season. They're 59-4 against everybody on their schedule. 1-4 against Florida.
3 out of 4 for the SEC as well, as the two teams now on the handshake high-five line, Florida and Michigan. Another NCAA champion is crowned here on ESPN, the Florida Gators, the latest as they win the College Women's World Series.
I love the pig pile. They get in there, everybody's excited, nobody gets hurt, but they do that in Omaha as well, and then Oklahoma City where the gals play every single year, in Florida, always with the Sunflower Girls. They got it behind the hair, and so now we know that the SEC, they like the football. They're going to be really good in track as well, by the way, in case you wondered. That's coming up here in just a few days. And, of course, softball, strong.
Absolutely. And we'll head back out there in a second for more coverage of our latest national champion. Of course, here on Sports Center, we got a big night in baseball. Stanley Cup Final Game number 1, and where?
Tampa.
You got it. Melrose and Levy are there. But tough loss for Michigan as they fall to Florida.
So close. Such a long season. They finished. They got it to a Game 3. Couldn't finish it off. We finish off by going to Holly Rowe.
Well, I'm here with the winning pitcher, Lauren Hager. And Lauren, in your senior season, the National Player of the Year, but also a national champion, how did that feel when that last out crossed the plate?
I don't even know what to think right now. I'm just so happy. I'm so proud of my teammates and how hard we worked. I'm so thankful to have Coach Walton behind us that whole time, and I'm just so proud of everyone.
In that last inning, you have to face Sierra Romero, one of the best hitters in the country. What was going through your mind to close out this game?
Just to keep it simple, say what I've been doing the whole game, attack the zone, and just go with what I'm good at.
One thing you've been good at is hitting and carrying your team offensively. What was your mindset through this tournament to be so effective on the plate?
Just to stay consistent, swing at good pitches, just give my team a chance.
In your senior season, how do you describe what's happened with your Gator team?
It's honestly one of the best thing that's ever happened to me right now, and I'm just so proud of them, and I just wouldn't want it to happen to anyone else. My teammates are awesome.
Coach Walton, I saw you hug your pitcher, Lauren Hager, and whisper something in her ear. What was it that you said?
Proud of her. Just really proud to be able to come on this stage. You know, really, last year she got the big start, but the dedication she put in and the time that she put in, just very proud of her. She's the National Player of the Year. She's the best, and now she's a national champion as well. I'm really proud of her.
Florida becomes one of only 3 schools in 34 years to repeat. What was the best part?
Well, the big key for me is just I told them, I want 20 players on one. It's all about them. It's all about what they've done and how well they played. So good job.
Oh, boy. Beth, back to you.
Coach didn't even bother running away, Holly. He knew he was caught. And the celebration begins for the Florida Gators. They win their 2nd national championship in a row behind a spectacular season for Lauren Hager. They struck first here tonight, and that was the difference in all 3 games. Kurt Schilling along with Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith. We talked about it throughout the World Series. Back around Christmas time, she was the 3rd stringer, and Michelle, somehow, she worked her way not only into the rotation, but as the National Player of the Year.
Well, I think it's proof that just focusing on pitching and getting away from the defense and playing first base was the best decision ever, because it allowed Lauren Hager to just work on her bullpens, make sure they were productive, and then, of course, on her hitting. Great decision.
And coming out of the SEC, obviously this team was well prepared for anything, Jess, that came their way.
You could just tell they had a big loss yesterday. And what did they come out and do this game? They scored early. The first inning, you could just see a different mindset, a passion. They got 3 of their 4 runs in that first inning. And of course, Hager setting the tone with the RBI.
Well, this is the 2 best teams in the country, rightly so. They were here. Some of the best players in the world playing this game. And it's hard to say that nobody leaves here a loser, but Florida earned it. Michigan had a phenomenal season. This was a privilege for me to be here and watch this. These women are phenomenal athletes, and I'm glad to see this sport beginning or continuing to grow nationally and hopefully globally as well.
Nolan, Kurt, we certainly appreciate you being here with us for the Championship Series in Oklahoma City. It's been a pleasure once again to come your way from the Women's College World Series as the Florida Gators win the third SEC title in the last 4 years, and they win 2 in a row, 4-1 the final over the Michigan Wolverines. And that trophy will head back to Gainesville. John and John?
Chomp it, chomp it.
Only thing better than 1? 2.
Yeah.
SportsCenter on TV.